right, so we'll go ahead and start this class by standing. Thank you all so much for coming to class this evening. My name is Kristen, for those of you that don't know me, and this class is called Stability. This is our 45-minute variation of this class. We have this on the schedule at a 60-minute variation and also a 40-minute variation. And if you hear some birds in the background, we have birds, so it's kind of jungle yoga here. Thank you for coming. So we'll start by building mountain pose. Separate your feet about hip width distance. If you're not too sure about what that means in your body tonight, you're going to bend down, take two fists next to each other in between your big toes. That's going to give you a good way to start from your base. From here, lift up all your toes, spread them out as wide as you can, and then place them down on your mat. Bring your weight towards your toes and lift up your heels. And bring your heels down and lift up your toes. Try to do this multiple times, bringing the weight to your toes to lift your heels. And bring your heels down to lift your toes, so you're shifting your weight forwards and backwards. You're noticing how your calves are warming up and how your balance is, right? And then we'll add a little movement from side to side. So feel the outer edges of one foot, outer edge of your other foot. As long as your knees feel okay, you can feel into the inner arches of one foot and then the other. If you have any knee sensitivity, back out of that space. So let's bring all these together. Forwards, backwards, left to right. Warming up the feet. And we'll begin to let the feet settle. So try lifting up all your toes, spreading them out wide, and then placing them down on your mat. Press into your big toes and the outer edges of your heels. Your little toes and the inner edges of your heels. You should feel like you have these imaginary X's under both of your feet. From there, put a little bend in your knees, bringing your shins forward. It should feel and look a little bit awkward. It's okay. With that bend in your knees, try to soften your lower back. Then engage your pelvic floor in and up. Draw your belly button in towards your spine. Try to squeeze your ribs down, lifting up your chest. And then hold all of that core engagement and straighten your legs. Let your arms relax down by your sides, palms forward. You might feel the shoulder blades tuck in towards each other just a little bit. And notice if that brings your chin forward. Pull the line of your jaw back instead. If it's available to you, let your eyes close. If that totally messes with your balance, just focus on the tip of your nose or the space between your eyebrows instead. And in this space, notice how you're standing. Standing on purpose, standing with purpose. Mountain pose in Sanskrit, that's Tadasana. If it's a part of your practice, bring your hands together at the center of your chest. And either take this moment here to notice how you're being, how you're breathing, or make a intention for your class this evening. Maybe it's a goal or a dedication. And take a full breath in, lifting your heart. And a grounding breath out, relaxing your shoulders. And open up your eyes, interlace your fingers, place them underneath your chin. Looking up at the ceiling, create a loud ha sound, bringing your elbows to touch, just like this. With your inhale, drop your chin level, lift up your elbows, working to open up the lungs. Exhale, head back, loud ha sound, pulling in your core, squeezing your elbows in. Inhale, chin level, lifting up your elbows. Exhale, head back, loud ha sound. Two more, inhale. This time at the top of your inhale, try to take in an extra sip. Exhale, head back, elbows touching when breathless. Last one, inhale. Extra sip at the top, holding it in. Exhale, head back. Elbows touching when breathless. Releasing your arms by your sides. Sometimes rolling the shoulders up and back after that feels nice. Bring your feet a little bit closer together. With your inhale, reach your arms up overhead, interlacing your fingers. Release your index fingers, cross your thumbs. If this is not available to you, you have other options. You can have your hands to heart center, hands to your hips, or anywhere else that's more available to you. So from here, we're just going to move a little side to side, opening up the space between the ribs and the hips. A lot of us hold tightness here. So notice what you feel. Just move into your natural range of motion. It might not be that much. That's okay. That's why we're here to practice. So when you feel good here, or you'd like to just move on, add a little movement forwards and backwards, lifting up your chest, then bringing the arms forward, keep the core engaged, and pull one hip back and then the other. Remember, you can always do this with your hands closer to your body. So if all of that feels good, take some circles, move in both directions, so left to right, right to left. Your spine might make some noises, just adjusting itself, shouldn't be too worried. So make your way back to your center, bring your toes into touch. Your heels could touch if that's a part of your practice. Your feet could be separate if that's better for your body. Pressing into your palms with your inhale, reach up. With your exhale, half moon over to your right. Press your hips to your left. We'll build this from the base, so balancing the weight between your toes and heels. Notice if you crunch your toes for balance, you might lift them up instead. And thighs are engaged. You might feel the hips shift a little forward when you engage your glutes. Then core is engaged, belly button pulls in. Maybe you roll your left shoulder open. Pressing into your palms with an inhale, reach a little further. With your exhale, deepen. Keep your core engaged. Inhale, back to center, lengthening up. Exhale, half moon to your left, hips over to your right. So you might have a totally different range of motion on this side. It might feel completely different than the other side. That goes for every posture. But we still ground from the feet and build that foundation first. Strong through the legs, reaching through the torso, noticing where the shoulders are. You might be up by your ears, try to relax them. If your arms are extended, try to press into your palms. With your inhale, reach a little further. Exhale, deepen. Inhale, back to center. With your exhale, take your hands to your lower back. We'll set up for a supported back bend. I'm going to turn to the side so it's a little bit easier to see the instruction. So separating your feet hip width distance, you know you can always check in with those two fists. Hands at your lower back, squeezing the elbows in. This might be where you stay. Or engage your core and glutes. With your inhale, lift your heart. With your exhale, press your hips forward, but keep engaging the glutes and core back into your hands. So there's a little push-pull happening. Elbows in to press the chest forward. Inhale, back to center. Release your arms by your sides. Inhale, arms reach up overhead. Bend your knees with your exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees as much as you need to fold down. So all of us have different ranges of flexibility, so we're going to need different things here. Bending the knees more might be one of those things that you need to do. You might need to bring blocks a little bit closer to you, especially if your balance is challenged here. You may need to widen your stance a little bit wider than your hips. So there's always special situations, right? We're going to ragdoll, grabbing opposite elbows, and let your head hang heavy. If that's difficult for you, try giving your head a little movement left and right, up and down. And you could stay here or work into a shoulder opener, taking your hands to your lower back, interlacing your fingers, knuckles reach up. If that's not happening for you, that's okay. You could grab a kitchen towel or a yoga strap and bring it in between your hands to help give you a little more range of motion. Working the weight towards your toes. One more breath in. Exhale, squat and curl. So if we have some knee issues, we're going to stay in a forward fold. Otherwise, slowly bring yourself into a little ball shape. Take your time, especially if you're not used to being here, go slow. So chin towards your chest, forehead towards your knees, shoulders away from your ears. Then looking forward, lengthening your spine. Lift and lower your heels a few times. They might make some noises like mine. And make your way back to your fold. Setting up your feet hip width distance, give or take. Grab a block or similar and center it in between your feet and a little bit forward. We'll start by grounding the left hand, bending the left knee. With your inhale, twist, reaching your right arm up. So in this shape, we're lowering the left hip and pressing the right hip straight back. You might be used to squared hips instead here. So if that's part of your practice, that's totally fine with me. Reaching up through the fingertips. If you like a shoulder opener, you could flip your palm away and bend at your elbow to help lift your chest into your twist. So core is engaged. Notice if your toes are doing weird things, try to flatten them out. Then press through your left hand. With your inhale, right arm reaches up. With your exhale, come back to your fold. Then ground your right hand, bend your right knee. With your inhale, twist, left arm reaches up. So stacking the shoulders, pulling the shoulder blades in towards each other to press the chest forward. Maybe you half bind, maybe you don't. If it hurts or it's not available, don't even worry about it. So check in with your feet. Lift your chest to twist. With your inhale, left arm reaches up. Exhale, back to your fold. Hands to your shins. Inhale, lift halfway. With your exhale, ground your hands to your blocks if you have them. If not, to the floor. Bend your knees, step your right foot back. Then lower your right knee down. So if you need to get into this lunge a different way, go for it. We'll meet you there. From there, if you have blocks, you're going to flip them up to their highest level and walk them back towards your body because we want to sit up tall here. Left knee should line up with the left heel. Right hip should feel like it's pressing forward. The toes can be tucked or you could point your toes straight back, personal preference. Inhale to lift up your heart. Exhale, half splits, flexing your left foot. Take your blocks with you. And so you might not be able to straighten your leg. Your hamstrings, your hips might be super tight. So keep that bend in your knee, right? Don't force it. It's not worth it. Flexing the foot. Maybe you point and flex, taking a few nerve glides. Flexing your left foot, pull in your core with your inhale, shift back to your lunge. Press down through your hands to lift up, stay for the inhale. Exhale, back to your half splits, holding that flexion, pulling the toes back. Inhale, back to your lunge. Tuck your back toes, lift your knee off the mat if you can. If you can't, you can always keep it down. Then looking forward, hover your right knee. Inhale, lift your right leg, flex your foot. Exhale, forward fold, hang heavy. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, ground your hands, bend your knees, step your left foot back. Lower your left knee down. Set yourself up for what you need on this side. So check in with the knee and ankle. Most important part of this shape is that your knee and your ankle are in alignment. Misalignment would be, or unaligned, would be knee past the ankle, which we do in some forms of fitness. But in this style, we're going to keep those joints stacked instead. So left hip presses forward, right heel pulls back. With your inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, half splits, flex your right foot. So check in with your knee. If you feel any pressure out the back of your knee, put a little bend there. Put a bigger bend if you need to. Point and flex, take your nerve glides, always an option. And flexing your foot, pull in your core, inhale back to your lunge. Exhale, half splits, flexing your foot. Inhale back to your lunge, tuck your toes, lift your knee off the mat. Strong through the left leg if it's lifted. Chest forward, shoulders back, hovering your left knee down. Inhale, lift your left leg, flex your foot. Exhale, forward fold, hang heavy. So separating your feet hip width distance, maybe a little bit wider. Take your peace fingers around your big toes. If that is not available to you, maybe you just need to bend your knees to bring your hips down a little more so you can take the grip. If that's still not working for you, that's okay. Just take your hands behind your ankles, okay? So with your inhale, lift your heart with your shoulders back. With your exhale, pull your upper body down. Let your head be heavy and try to slide your shoulders away from your ears. Elbows can be out or pointed behind you, personal preference. Shifting the weight towards your toes. Pull in your core. Deep breath in. Exhale and pull. Release hands to your shins. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale and fold. Put a little bend in your knees. Slowly roll up to standing. If you need support, use your hands. Arms reach up overhead. Take any kind of neutral stretch you might like. Could be a shoulder opener instead. And then we'll set up for a chair, 3 different ways. So some of you may not do any of these chairs. Some of you might modify all of these chairs. Some of you might be super skilled in this shape and you can do way better than me, okay? So do what's available to you. We'll start by separating the feet hip-width distance. If you need more stability or you're working on inner thigh strength, put a block in between your thighs. Send your arms out in front of you, shoulders back. Remember, your arm variations could be different, right? Deep breath in. With your exhale, bend your knees and send your hips behind you. So look down at your feet for a moment. Make sure you can see your toes. And if you can't, just try to shift a little more weight back to your heels. You might even try lifting up the toes to help you with that. And lift up the heart, pulling the shoulders back. Just breathe into what's available. Stay for your inhale. With your exhale, lower down. Pulling in your core, inhale, rise up. Second part, come up high onto your toes, lifting up your heels, challenging your balance, right? You might be super shaky here. You might need a wall space or a chair nearby, no big deal. Take a deep breath in. With your exhale, lower your hips, but keep your heels lifted. Then check in with your knees, make sure they stay lined up with your hips. Sometimes they want to turn in or go out, right? Lifting up the chest, breathe in. With your exhale, sit a little deeper. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, arms down, relax your feet. So for the third part, this is the one where we have to be the most careful because it involves more stuff with the knees. So we'll turn the toes in, bring the knees to touch, and squeeze the thighs. You want to be sure that you're not squeezing your knees into each other, but that the compression is in the legs and in the glutes instead. If it doesn't seem like it's for you, just skip it and join us in a minute. Repeat the first one, whatever you want. Take a deep breath in. With your exhale, lower down. So go as slow as you can. Try to challenge your core control. Squeezing your thighs as you lower down. And then see if you can bring your hips down to your heels and soften your lower back, but keep squeezing your thighs. Lifting up your chest with your shoulders back. Press into your hands, fire up your upper body. Belly button in. If you like a little challenge, lift your hips, hold it here for 3, 2, 1. Use your inhale to rise up, and your exhale to relax. So if you have a mat, walk to the top left corner. If not, just do something similar. If you have a block nearby, set it up out in front of you and a little to the right. From your mountain pose, inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, big step out to the right. Arms out to your T shape, or hands could be at your hips for more stability. With your inhale, lift your heart. Pull in your core. With your exhale, hinge forward. Then take your hands down to something. Could be a block, could be multiple blocks. You might just have a little range of motion left and right. No big deal. That's why we're here. If you have a larger range of motion, move into it. Don't force anything. If you're hyper flexible, consider not going to your edge of your range of motion. All right, so come back to your neutral forward fold here. Turn your toes in. If you have a block, grab it. Make sure it's pretty much directly under your face. Then shift your weight towards your toes. Grounding your right hand. Take your left hand to your lower back. Then lift up your chest and begin to twist, stacking your shoulders. If you can turn your neck upwards, go for it. If it hurts, don't do it. Don't even worry about it. So check in with your hips. You might need to have your hips squared. You might need to lower your right hip down. You might like to extend your left arm or work into a gentle half bind. Lifting up the chest to twist is key. Grounding through the right hand, turning the thighs inwards. One more breath in. And with your exhale, release back to your fold. And grounding your left hand, shift the weight to your toes. Take your right hand to your lower back and begin to open up into your twist. So take whatever variation suits you best on this side. Consider the hips. Consider the range of motion in the arms for what you choose to do from there. But keep the core engaged. We want to protect the spine as we breathe and as we move, especially in a twist. One more breath in, reach the arm up. Exhale, back to your fold. And then take your peace fingers around your big toes, bending your knees as much as you need to get there. If that's not your favorite placement, you're welcome to do something else or take your hands to your ankles instead. With your inhale, lift your heart, shoulders back. With your exhale, pull your upper body down. Reach your head towards the floor, shoulders away from your ears, and work to press your chest towards the wall behind you if there is one. So letting the head be heavy, give it a little shake. Spin the thighs inwards, lift your hips a little higher. One more breath in. With your exhale, pull. And release your hands to the floor, lift halfway. You could take your hands back to your hips or extend your arms out to a T shape. Inhale, rise up. Arms reach up overhead, breathe in. Pivot your right foot to the right with your exhale, warrior two. So find a little movement in this warrior two. Begin to adjust your feet when you find this movement. If you are not used to this movement, keep your knee behind your ankle instead of stacking the joints. So finding this little movement, it's called a multi-joint repetitive motion. Begin to find some stillness, and we'll build this shape. Your arms are tired, hands to heart center. Track your right knee open, make sure it's lined up with the heel. Then feel this wrapping action through the left thigh as it draws the left hip back and press down through your left heel. If your arms are extended, it's shoulder blades in, reaching through the fingertips. Vision off the middle finger of your right hand. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, modified extended side angle, right elbow down, left arm reaches overhead, finding that stretch from the left foot through the hip, all the way through the fingertips. And we're lifting from the core, rolling the right hip under. Staying with your feet. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Right arm reaches up and overhead. Maybe the vision moves up towards the ceiling. Nothing changes with the legs. We're just stretching through the right side of the body. One more breath in. Exhale, back to your warrior two. Straighten your right leg, pivot your foot. Pivot your left foot forward. Bend and straighten your left leg a few times. You might feel way different on this side. You might feel more warmed up. You might already know that you're more flexible on this side. So adjusting the feet, begin to settle. Then check in with the torso. Think of that mountain pose shape, so lower belly in and up. Belly button to the spine, ribs in, lifting up the chest, right? It's all the same, just little differences, right? So the shoulder blades are in, reaching through the fingertips, tracking your left knee open, pulling your right hip back. Deep breath in. Exhale, modified extended side angle, left arm down, right arm reaches overhead. And try to feel that stretch from the hip to the fingers to the heel. Left knee keeps tracking open. We're using the core to stay lifted. Maybe we're looking up, maybe not. Inhale, reverse your warrior, left arm reaches up. Nothing changes in the legs, grounded from the feet, breathing in. Exhale, warrior two. Straighten your left leg, pivot your left foot, arms up overhead. Bend your left knee, inhale, left foot meets the right. Exhale, arms by your sides. Deep breath in, grounding breath out. Inhale, arms up, palms touch, thumbs cross. With your exhale, take a little step out to the left. Lift your toes, pivot once to your right. Then walk it out here. Walk the right foot over to the right so that your left hip can come forward. If you're not sure, take your hands to your hips and feel for square hips. You might have to bring the left hip forward and push the right hip back. Then taking the arms up, breathing in. Exhale, twist open to the right. And you have options always. The right hand could stay at the lower back. Hands could stay at heart center as you twist. You can reach through the arms, but work to press your right hip forward. Weights down in your heels. With your inhale, get a little taller. With your exhale, twist a little deeper. Inhale, arms up. Lift your toes, pivot twice to your left. And then set up your hips again, and you might have to take that hip check with your hands. I do it almost every single time. So internal rotation of the thighs, weights in the heels. If you can, reach the arms up, breathing in. Exhale, twist open to the left. So notice what you need here in this shape. Maybe it's the hand at the lower back. Maybe hands at heart center instead. If your arms are extended, you're working those shoulder blades in towards each other, then reaching through the fingers. Inhale, arms up. Lift your toes, pivot once to the right. Right foot meets the left foot. Arms down by your sides, back to your mountain pose. Take a deep breath in. And a slow breath out. You can stop and have water anytime you like, but since it's a shortened class, I'm not going to stop us for a water break, but just know that that's always available to you. So we're going to take tree, and then we're going to hit the floor for the rest of class. If so, you think your tree might fall over, which they do, it's okay. You might want to just have something close by to support you, like a wall or a chair. We'll start by pressing the left foot down, lifting the right heel up, and taking the knee out to the right. This might be where you stay. You may want to focus on the hip opener first. If you feel good with the hip opener, add balance, taking your right toes off the floor. You want to add depth. Bypass your knee and take your heel up towards your inner thigh. And then it's active on the left side, right? You're pressing the left foot, left leg into the right foot, and you're pressing the right foot back into the left leg, even if the toes are down at the floor. One or both hands to heart center. You can do whatever you want with your arms. No such thing as a wrong tree. So check in with the lower back. Try to lift out of it. Track the right knee open. Squeeze your left thigh. If this is super easy for you, try closing your eyes or looking up. One more breath in. With your exhale, slowly release your right foot down. And ground your right foot. Lift your left heel, take your knee out to the left. You might stay here, or you might play around adding that balance. Make sure you can maintain the hip opener. Maybe you bring the hand to the heel to the right thigh. Take time for what you need. Could be not balanced, right? You could be totally different on this side. Maybe you have more balance on this side. Grounding through the right foot. Lifting up, use the core, support your spine, get tall, be like a tree, right? Tracking the left knee open. One more breath in. With your exhale, release your left leg down. Feet back to hip width distance. We'll take another supported back bend. Hands to your lower back, elbows in, pull in your core. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, shift your hips forward, squeeze your glutes, elbows in. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, arms by your sides, back to your mountain pose. Inhale, arms reach up. Bend your knees with your exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, squat and curl, rounding your spine. And remember, if that's not good for you, don't do it. We'll meet you at your seat. That's where we're headed next. So if you'd like to try bringing your feet down to the floor and then your seat, you want to try it, but know that you might roll back if you haven't done it before. Reach your arms out in front of you and begin to shift your weight to your heels. See if you can stick the heels, and then maybe you can bring the seat down Maybe you just rolled straight back. I did that for a long time. Then bring your feet to the edge of your mat. Press down through your big toes. If you have a block, you might like to add stability, taking it in between your legs as we lower back. Reaching the arms forward, lift your chest, breathing in. Exhale, lower back, use your core. If you need support, just use your hands. Once you're grounded, use your core to pull your knees up towards your chest. If you're using a block, move it to the side. And see if you can give yourself a hug without lifting your shoulders off your mat. And if you can't, that's okay. You might just need to take less of a grip. You might need to use something like a towel or a strap in front of your legs to help the shoulders stay down. Flex both of your feet. Deep breath in. With your exhale, pull your knees towards your chest, then press your lower back down. Feel that length. 2 more. Breathe in. Exhale and pull. Shoulders stay down. Last one. Breathe in. Exhale and pull. And a little bit of core work. Keep your core engaged. Send your heels up towards the ceiling. Then send your heels down just a little bit. Think of pressing the tailbone down. Sometimes I take my peace fingers to the hip flexors and press them down actively, right? Sometimes they don't listen. You have to make it happen. So kick up from the heels. Bend the knees as much as you need to. Fingertips reach towards your toes. Lift your head and shoulders off your mat. You can hold it here the whole time, or you could pulse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1, lift up and hold. See if you can kick the heels a little more, lifting up 1 more inch. Breathe in. Exhale, lower down, give yourself a squeeze. Shoulders stay down. Deep breath in. Slow breath out. Bring your left foot down to the floor. Send your right leg up. Flex point, take a few circles if that feels good to you. Then we'll take our hand behind the right leg, both hands interlacing the fingers. You want to think of the back of your hands are on the back of your thigh rather as a weight. So you're not really pulling the leg towards you, but you're letting the weight of your arms pull the leg towards you. Shoulders stay down if you can. Deep breath in. Slow breath out. Sometimes when you hold the leg up in the air like this, especially if there's tension, you're reversing blood flow. The toes might start to feel weird. Your leg might start to shake a little bit. All of this is normal. 1 more breath in. With your exhale, cross your right leg over your left leg into a figure 4 or reclined pigeon. See if you can swivel your right leg over the edge of your left leg, your right foot. Then lift your left leg off the mat. Take your hands behind the back of your left leg. Use a strap if you need to add space. And press your right elbow to your right thigh. Try to keep those shoulders down. With your inhale, left leg pulls in. With your exhale, press your right leg away. Deep breath in. Slow breath out. Last one, breathing in, find a little space. Exhale, press your right thigh away. Release your left leg down, send your right leg back up. Same or similar grip with your hands behind the right thigh. And feeling the weight of the arm pull the leg towards you. You might have a different range of motion after that. Just check in with your body. Release your right foot down. Send your left leg up, point, flex, take some circles. Sometimes I have to crack my toes. And take your hands behind the back of your left leg. Let it just be a weight to draw the left leg towards you. Notice where your shoulders are. Check in with the right foot. If the knee is hanging out to the right, press down through the toes. Make it a little more active. Deep breath in. With your exhale, cross your left leg over your right leg. Take your time lifting your right leg up. Hands behind the right thigh. You could use an extension like strap or a blanket, whatever you got. Flex your feet. With your inhale, right leg pulls in. With your exhale, press your left leg away. Deep breath in, right leg draws towards the body. Exhale, left leg presses away with the left arm. Release your right foot down. Send your left leg back up, same or similar grip with the hands behind your left leg. Bring your left foot down. Let the soles of your feet touch, knees falling open. Reclined bound angle or Supta Baddha Konasana. So you might need support in this shape, and if this feels bad in your body, don't do it. If this creates pain in your lower back, definitely don't do it. If you need support to feel more comfortable in this shape or more accessible in this shape, you might take a block underneath your heels or blocks or blankets underneath your thighs. You don't want to feel too much straining. There's a difference between a stretch and overdoing it, and then you have a pulled muscle, right? We don't want to pull our muscles. So you can have your hands on your belly if you like to focus in on your breath. You can have your arms down by your side. Shavasana is coming soon, so you may like to begin to close your eyes. Closing the eyes to keep that space inwards, focusing on yourself for these last few moments of class. You're welcome to be here longer in this hip opener. Or slowly begin to press your feet into each other, knees towards each other. And we reverse this, walking the feet out, bringing the knees in. So external rotation to internal rotation. You're welcome to be here longer. If you like to do something in particular before you settle into Shavasana, go for it. I know lots of us like a little happy baby. Sometimes it's a little supine twist. So take whatever you would like and settle into our final shape. And if you need support in your Shavasana, like blankets, pillows, get comfortable. Take what you need, it's okay. And so traditionally in Shavasana, that's all about being still, practicing stillness. And the cool thing about yoga is that it's never like yoga perfect, it's always yoga practice. You've probably heard that before. It's really important to remember in these shapes that can be a little bit more difficult, but sometimes we don't achieve the result that maybe we had last time. It's okay. It'll happen again. Let your eyes close. Let your shoulders soften, and that might mean tucking the shoulder blades in to let the shoulders come down towards the mat. Jaw is relaxed. Eyes are relaxed. And you take this sort of attention all the way down your body over and over again, training your body to calm down, training your body to relax, practicing Shavasana. Begin to deepen your breath. When you're ready, wiggle your fingers and toes. And then take some larger moves, some larger stretches, waking your body up. Taking your time, rolling to whatever side you'd like on your way up to your seat. Go slow, take your time. From your seat, lift up your heart. Keep your eyes closed and bring your palms back together at the center of your chest. A little bit of core engagement helps you sit up taller. And just notice here the space that you've created in your mind and in your body. Give yourself a compliment. Thank your body for what it's capable of. Thank your mind for supporting you in this space. And I thank you all so much for taking time out of your evening to try something new for some, but for all to take care of yourself. Namaste. Thank you guys so much. We hope that you are registered for YogaZoomFest. If you haven't, go do it right now. Let us know if you have any questions.